What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Right Now Powder Coating channel. In today's video, we are going to be going over gun maintenance, consumables, everything you need to know to keep your gun working like it did when it was brand new. Let's hit it. So I get calls all the time from people who have bought our Electron gun and they're having issues getting powder. The efficiency isn't what it used to be, countless other things. So I thought it was about time we do a video about maintenance. And now this isn't only for you Electron guys. Yeah, that's our brand, that's what we sell. But this is pretty much, if you have any gun out there, it's going to have consumable parts, and this should help you out figuring out what you need to be looking for and what parts you should be replacing on a regular basis depending upon how much you spray. So I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to go through a ton of parts and kind of explain what they are, what to look for where, and maybe when you should replace them. So let's take a look. All right, so here we have three different pumps. This is the Gema Opti Pro pump, my old guns. This is the version 2 of Electron, and this is the newest +3 version of Electron. We're gonna go through them all. I'll do Gema first. I've done a video on this Gema one before, so this will be a refresher here, but obviously you have the black piece that clips into here if you have this gun. You need to check that. It's going to wear out over time, not only from powder going through it, but also from moving it in and out. And then your insert here, this is a brand newish one. No, it's been used. We can see the powder down in there. But basically when you're inserting these, they have this little opening here. It is best to insert that so it is up, because it lines up with that red tube right there. And then that's your supplemental air that flows over the outside of this white and helps carry the powder down the tube. Check your O-rings, make sure that they're not dried out, cracked, or missing. That will cause issues with the air, causing issues with the powder. They give you a tool to stick in here, which I don't have on me, but I normally just look down there, make sure it still looks roundish. If not, replace it. These aren't that expensive. This is a big factor in how your air moves. So they even put an arrow on there now. So make sure you're watching these. In the pickup tube, you want to just make sure you blow that out really, or in the pump, blow it out really well. You're going to want to check these O-rings as well. If you have air leaking out of here, you're going to have issues with your pump delivery. And then inside of these are filters. So you can actually, normally in everyday operations, you're just going to blow through this both ways, blow down your tubes, and then I like to blow through it one more time. I'm not going to take these both off, but make sure you put these back on in the right order. They are different. I think they're different. It's been so long since I've used them. Or they look the same. Same clip. So just make sure you keep them the right direction so that when you put your airlines on, they're not backwards. That will mess you up also. So we're going to take these out because you do need to check in here once in a while if you have these Gema guns. These filters, over time, you can see the powder in there, will get clogged up and dirty and the performance will start to suck. They are cheap, so replace them if you need to. If you got powder up here, see where I just wiped that off? There's yellow even. I don't know the last time I sprayed yellow. So you want to check these, make sure that they're clean, make sure your O-ring's good, and on top of that, make sure these things are tight. So make sure that gets on there tight, and make sure that when you're screwing it into here, obviously be gentle, don't cross thread them, because these are not cheap from Gema. I think they're over $400. Just make sure they're on there good, give it a little bit of a tightening there, and you should be good to go. Pretty simple on the Gema side of the pump. On Electron, if you're using version 2, this is the old 90 degree style pump. Again, you're going to blow it out, blow it out. Check your piece here for wear and tear. So you're going to pull this piece out. Again, you need to check this, make sure it's wearing okay. Powder is abrasive, so it's going to wear out plastic parts. It's just the way it is. O-ring, again, very important that that's in shape and on there. If not, you guys can pick these up from us on our website or find an O-ring supplier near you. This is our insert in the V2 pump. The main thing you want to check here is that you're wearing out evenly, and I think you can actually see that that's kind of oblonged out that way. So we're getting to the point where we need to replace this. So you can see where it's kind of wearing on that edge, and then it's wearing out that way. you'll start wearing this out to the point where it takes more and more air, or to the point where you actually have failure, which is what my employee brought me yesterday, a hole through the whole thing. So it literally wore it so thin through there that it blew out the side. Now, when you're blowing them out the side, you've gone way too far. These are super cheap. There's no reason to ever see that. Ours was a lack of paying attention when we were cleaning out the gun. Also, it's on our unit that sprays 99% of the time the same color, so we rarely ever take it apart and check it. My bad, their fault. I don't know. So make sure you're checking those. Keep some of these in stock. They're not expensive. Buy 2, 3, 4, 5, buy 10, and then you don't have to worry about it. They're always there when you need it. They're super cheap. Again, you're just gonna clean out in there, blow air through it, good to go. With the pickup tubes here, it's a lot like the Gimas. You can take them out, clean that out. There's a bunch of powder in there. There is a filter in here too. I don't think I've ever taken this one apart, so this will be fun. So actually it's not too bad. So very much like the Gima, these are cheap. I think when you buy a gun, you get a couple in there. Buy a bunch of these, just keep them in stock. I just got off the phone with a guy today who I think said one of these holes got something in it and plugged up, so he blew it out and the gun started working fine again. They just come off. See the powder on there? So that's not good. You want to make sure you keep these clean. They need to be serviced. I'm guessing most of you have never even pulled these apart. Simple, easy maintenance. Once a week, take them apart, blow them off, clean them up good. Keep your gun working like new. Same thing in here. Now, the new pump, which I love, I think it's super slick. I love the valve or the filter. I don't love this piece, and I'll show you why. So, on your gun side, you have this for the barb, right? This is the new design, and it interlocks like this. So, normal operating, you're probably like this. When you pull out your gun or your pickup or your hose is on this side. You've got your insert in here, which is fine and dandy. It's basically the same thing. Again, this is what it looks like when you blow it out the side because you waited too long to replace it. Keep a bunch of these in stock. You may actually want to keep a bunch of these in stock because if you break off this tab or something, it's not going to pull this piece out. So this piece actually sits down inside of here. So if you look down in there, you can see the white piece in there, and this might take me a second, but if you twist that, see how it just popped in there? So I'll do it again, twist it around, it just popped in. Okay, I had to pry way too hard, but this is what it looks like when you don't pull it out and clean it. So those powders get trapped in there, and you can have contamination. We never have, so we've been lucky. This is actually out of our dual head unit in the back, which we haven't used a second gun in a long time. So shame on us for not pulling this out and cleaning it, but it's very much like the Gima new head. You can actually see there's a flat side on each side, so it only goes in one way, and that keeps that opening lined up here. The reason they did this design is because they couldn't rip off this design. So this is an all-in-one piece. This is removable, so basically you can see it all put together there now. These O-rings fit very tight in here, so I struggled to get that out. I actually had to put pliers on it and pull it off. But when you're putting these back in, make sure that opening is straight up. Also make sure your O-rings look good. Make sure that this is getting blown out. Actually, now that I have this out, the problem is I don't spray every day. I've powder coated like twice in the last 2 weeks. I'm running the business more now than anything. You want to make sure you get all that cleaned up. So I'd recommend pulling this out every color change. And as you do that, it should get easier to pull out than what I just did. I'm guessing because I've never instructed my employees, and that's shame on me, that this has never been out in the, I don't even know, 6 to 8 months we've owned it. But then that just slides back in. You can unhook that, pull it back out. Yeah, see, now it comes out easy. So that's how it should work. It should just slide out like that. So we're gonna go straight in with it, unlock, you can pull that out. See, now it comes out so easy. It comes out with that, which is nice. I like that. Or maybe I wasn't in there all the way. There it said, okay. Let's see if it comes back out. Yep, perfect. So make sure you get it seated all the way. That's the pump. So we're going to take off these to show you the new filters. Again, make sure you keep your colors where they are so that you don't mix up your airlines. These aren't really important for anything. They're just like a marker to tell you where it goes. So these filters are new and I love them. Look how, well, until I touch it with my dirty hand. Look how clean it is. So they actually have like a duck bill in there that flaps, and I don't know enough about them to really tell you why they work so good, but it's kind of unique to Electron. I don't think any other powder coaters are using filters like this. So just check them, make sure they're good, check your O-rings, make sure everything's good. That little O-ring fits nicely down in that little pocket. Make sure you blow through all these. Now, a big thing I do want to say is when you are cleaning these out in your shops, make sure you're unhooking the airlines from these. The last thing you would want to do is blow air up through here, have powder in here, blow up through there, and go back into your controller. So inside your controller is where all the air adjustments happen, and you don't want to blow that powder back in there. So make sure you're disconnecting these before you clean them out. This should look like this minus this. So we always have it like this, pull that out, blow this or the insert out, blow your pump out, blow down there, blow through there a couple more times, you're done. It's easy, not a big deal, but don't keep it hooked up. All right, so that's your pumps. No more pump talk. No more insert talk. It's not a bad idea to keep these locking nuts on either. Keep one or two in case you lose it or drop it. Again, cheap items. On the new guns, this is the piece that actually sits right here in the gun. Not bad to have one of these in case you break off one of these tabs. Like if you get someone a little anxious and is ramming that thing in there and you bust a tab, it may not seal it as well. So cheap part to keep in stock. They're on our website, ctsainc.com. If they're not, I think they're on our site. If they're not, email me, email Ray, we'll get you one. We have them in stock. This is what those filters look like in the old version 2 or the Gima guns. Just buy a bunch, they're super cheap. I want to talk tips a little bit with you guys. If your tips are starting to look like this, where they're pinching, they're not straight, it's time to replace them. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it will impact the way the powder comes out of the gun, and then therefore impacting the efficiency, how much is landed on the part versus the ground. Look at that one compared to those. So these aren't super expensive. I will say on the Electron gun, these tips are a way higher quality than what I had on my Gima guns. They were flimsy plastic. These last way longer, way longer. So get that. Or you can buy the whole kit here, which I like because then you get the electrode. I mean, if you're going through tips, you got operators dropping them, just have a bunch of these. The electrode is nice to have too. I don't know the exact life cycle of one of these, but I do know that they wear out, that this metal tip is going to get built up with powder. You can clean it off with your nail or whatever, but we've had a lot of people who get aggressive with these. They break this tip off and it screws in here. If you do that, You might be able to get that piece out if you're careful and buy a new, just have a couple of these little plastic tips on hand. But it's very fine thread. You want to be careful with it. Keep a couple of those on. In fact, these will wear out too on the end. They'll start getting soft. And then these will, your electrode will start getting covered up. It can actually wear back a little bit. It'll start discoloring, stuff like that. So it's not bad to have another electrode. On the V2 guns, you've got this O-ring that seals it to the gun. I throw that away. It's a pain in the butt and I don't like it. We had to do it for certification reasons. The new gun doesn't have that. But this carbon ring, make sure your grooves face the gun. If they face this way, you can start arcing off of this right here, which transfers the power down here to the air. So if you start arcing it, you're gonna toast this, you're gonna roast it, it's not gonna work anymore. Make sure you have the flat side to it to make good contact. Also, the grooves in here allow the air to go into these holes, which will allow the air to come down and cool your tip. That's the main purpose of that. So keep all of that in stock as well. Not bad to have one of these extra at a time. When you go to put this in your gun, order another one. Don't wait. We have so many units out there that are sold right now, and we don't see very many spare parts going out the door, which is shocking to me because I know you need these parts. So if you haven't looked at replacing any of the stuff we talked about, your gun is not operating well, I promise you, if you've been spraying with it for a while. This insert that we blew through was probably 2 months, I would guess, is the last time I put one in there. And I replaced it because I cleaned out the gun and it was way ovaled out. That's new to me. So I've got to be better about coming up with a maintenance schedule. And as you start looking at your stuff, you'll notice how long it lasts. So just keep an eye on it. The other thing on the Electron guns that I kind of like versus Gema, on the bottom of their pickup tube, it's one solid piece with the fluidizer that's built in. This, you can actually buy these separately. These unscrew off the bottom and you can blow them out, blow up your tube. I recommend doing that from time to time. I don't think you need to do it every time, but I would do it when you can. And then you can actually buy our fluidizing plates and they just slide in there. So if that gets nasty and you want to replace it because you're not getting the fluidization, you can buy those from us too. So on the guns, this is the V2. There's a tube in here, right here, that can wear out over time. Now this is if you're spraying a ton. My guess is most of you guys who are hobby guys will never need to really open this up. Your tube should outlast the gun, and then there's another one in here. I don't love that design of it, but it is what it is. It is nice that you can replace it if you need to versus other guns where you may not be able to. But take this apart. You can actually see the tube in there right there. So, and this gun came off our line and I never cleaned it, so don't worry about that. But you can actually get in there and pull that piece out. And then you'll see this is where the air comes out for your air nozzle, and that's the connection for the cascade, where it touches your carbon ring and then comes out the electrode. So there's a tube in there you can replace. The last thing I really want to mention, the air hose, when you're spraying a ton, that powder is still eating through your air hose. It is wearing it out. If you need a new air hose, we carry those with the grounding strip in them. They are not that expensive. If you're spraying a lot of colors and you're worried about contamination, it's not bad to have a couple of those. We can do them in any size you want. We sell them by the meter or the foot. Yeah. So super long story short, you guys need to get out there, look at your guns, make sure that I had to lock my door here so I could get this video done. Make sure that you're keeping up on the maintenance on these things. They should perform like new as long as you do. If you're noticing a lot of wasted powder where it wasn't before, or you're not hitting the Faraday areas like you were before, it could be any of the things we just discussed. So check them out. I'm putting our website down below. It's ctsainc.com. We have complete systems on there. We have spare parts. If you are a large powder coater, industrial powder coater, we are getting out and we're meeting with customers. We are quoting systems like you wouldn't believe. We're doing If you need a washer, we can get you a washer. You need a booth, we can get you a booth. Want to go to Auto Guns, we can help you with that. Or if you want a complete system, we can do that too. We are quoting a handful of those right now. I promise you, we are going to beat the competitors' pricing. You're going to have better customer service, and you're only going to deal with one company, and that's CTSA Inc. Me, my buddy Ray, we would love to help you guys out. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, you don't even need to watch my channel. Just subscribe. I like to see that number go up. It makes my heart feel nice and warm and loved. Hopefully you guys all got something out of this video. Check out our website. Check out my Facebook. Check out my Instagram. We also have a group on Facebook. I'll link below. It's called Electron Mastermind. If you have a gun, want to learn about the guns, get in that Facebook group. I will add you, no big deal. We are trying to grow this brand here in America, and it's going to blow up in no time. So get on board with us. We'd love to have you. I will catch you guys on the next video.